Sup? Soulless society, parents, you don't own your kids. This is psychopath. You know, you can see this through probably every society. Seems part of culture. And I get it, it's a kind of guiding force, and you act like you bloody own your kids. Well, I tell you, if I had a kid, it would be very, very different. And I know a lot of hippies back in Byron Bay who are different. And I'm sure there's other hotspots, like the hippie capital of Australia, Byron Bay, in the world, where people don't think they own their kids. You all are psychopaths, man. You're absolutely nuts, thinking that you can direct your kid's life and stuff. I get it. You think, oh, it came out of my body and it's my DNA, my bloodline. This is that type of organic portal thinking. Very surface. And I've told you guys, and I'll say it 100 times, I'm sure. 100 million times I'll probably have to say before a lot of people realize it's not blood over intent, as some people are now putting it. Like clowns, the clown of organic portal videos, that Eno Fey, has a video, blood over intent, and you know he was just trying to buck what that, what's that lady, quartz crystal, that lady who does all the Soulless Matrix videos, he was trying to buck that. But I have to agree with that lady on that one thing. It's intent over blood, you retards. You've retarded your thinking. Spastic. I told you guys, I even made a video, I deleted it off the channel because it got no views, because people are retarded. I said, it's energy that rules, not bloodlines. Bloodlines don't rule, they think they rule, because this is the neurosis of the neurotic nuclear family model. This is an organic portal sort of structure. Every souled human I know, and I'd love to take Byron Bay back into example, because this is like when I look back in the 60s in California or something, it's just that vibe of freedom is around. That resonance of freedom probably still now. I haven't been there for a couple of years. I'm in Uruguay, but I'm Australian and I grew up, up the coast. I've been to Byron since I was younger. And Byron Bay is a place where there's a lot of hippies. You can't even have buildings taller than 3 stories. And it's just, there's a resonance there. It's, surrounded by magic mushrooms. Nimbin is out the back in the hills. It was the place you could go to get whatever you wanted. Ayahuasca, even vines, highly illegal stuff. For freedom, for actually tinkering with your own mind. And a lot of, how it runs deep in culture, parents try and control their kids. Oh, don't do drugs, stay in school, do this, do that. You don't own your kids, you psychos. This is soulless behavior. I'm calling it out. I don't care. I'm sure a lot of people are going to agree with me and like this video, because there's a lot of souls still left and thinking the same thing. I've seen them. I mean, it's an unsaid thing. It doesn't have to be even talked about. It's something we look at people and give them a look like, what? Are you stupid? You don't own your kids, you nut. You're crazy in the coconut. And this is a soulless society sort of act. So I thought I'd make a quick video on it. Definitely a Burgoyce act. Burgoyce is up the top of the page here, relating to a characteristic of the social middle class, marked by a mediocrity and a concern for material interest and respectability. And a tendency, it's not just a tendency, toward mediocrity. Well, I think that's part of that. You're teaching them to be mediocre, think in a box. What's the famous saying? Think outside the box, tards. So you don't own your kids. Oh, it's my flesh and blood, Ben. Yeah, and you don't even say it. It's an unsaid thing. You don't even say, you act like you own your kids, so stop acting like it. Become conscious then. Yeah, because if you think, oh, I don't pretend to own my kids, really pay attention to what you're doing. because I know a lot of people would just like to think that they don't act that way when they do. So remember, it's not blood over intent. That indicates, family over the intent, for instance, to bring around positive change for humanity, all humans, not just your little blood family bloodline. That's what's gotten us into this mess. That's why we have a conglomerized, monopolized media, yeah? You all even know that I don't even have to say the guy's name. You know who owns the 6 media companies in the world. That's how bad it is. You can almost count it on one hand. Do I have to say the name? Rupert Murdoch. I mean, most people know this sort of obvious stuff now. It's been in the alternative media for years, even if they don't tell you on the TV. But anyway, I just wanted to swing back to saying how wrong it is to, act like you own your kids just because it came from you. This is why isn't an organic portal soulless way? Because organic portals seem to be surface people, just their like body. There's no spirit, there's no upper dimensionality, there's no ascension. There's actually, what we're finding out now via psychological science sampling, so real science, not pseudo stuff, even though some people like me would call it a bit pseudo-ish, but it's basically hard science. People have got there's 25% of people showing up in samples that have inner speech and so on. Inner speech with themselves and all this. That's what used to be called what? Crazy! Turns out, no, we just got soul. Oops, just like when you said we're schizophrenic. Look, he's got the schizophrenic gene. Oh wait, now it turns out that there's 42 genes connected with schizophrenia, and it looks more like a universal opening pushing through a little body. Oh, better look again, hey? So why is it a soulless act? Because it seems to be that these surface bodies, the spiritless humans known as organic portals, perpetuate this type of society and this type of way of acting and being. And I've got a page in consciousazine, Ways of the New. Maybe I should put more of this stuff on that page. The ways of the new are definitely to realize intention. So intention over blood would be an example of, if you're, how you would see it in it's classic in movies and in just society in general. Fly the way that your parents want you to fly. Do the job they want you to do, and that's the real, the obvious dumbed down resonance of what I'm saying, where they direct you about as if they are your boss or something, or they are you. And that's the point. That's how they think. That's how the surface virus, organic portals, them, trivial humans establishing mayhem, that them acronym, the surface virus, these organic portal body, one mind people, they are just one mind. Actually, the correct terminology is they're spiritless, not soulless, because they belong to a group soul. That's the second dimensional level. Now, when you pop into third dimensional egoic thinking, at least you're thinking for yourself already. So the ego is the seed point of sovereignty, and it's first consciousness. But then you expand. You take on a fourth dimensional feeling body, and you feel for children of other parents, not even related to you. Then you take on a fifth dimensional light body, and you get telepathy, and you actually feel what they're feeling, know what they're knowing, thinking what they're thinking. You can know what they think, what they're experiencing. So this is what humanity is now going through, a fourth dimensional feeling body acceptance, with millions of people scattered, all this mass immigration that's going on around the world. People basically being war-torn countries and having to, walk off to another country. Imagine that, just having to walk, I don't know, 100 miles or something. So there's a lot of that going on. It isn't a small deal anymore. We're talking, at least half the world's population is impoverished. Impoverished. And even if you own some kind of, and you think you own some kind of normal life where you've got a car, you're paying it off, you've got a house, you're paying it off, that's impoverishment. You're still a slave, you're still paying, you don't even own it. And even if you did own a little property, or even a couple of properties, that's impoverishment. The universe is abundant. There is no scarcity. That's a massive fraud. It's not even a lie, it's just a fraud. That there is scarcity and you need to pay this for that. We're in an abundant universe, and if we do intent over blood and we all stop sucking and competing and sucking into the neurotic nuclear family model, say we all work together, then we have an abundant universe in front of us. We can go to Mars and get 6 times the iron ore that's on Earth, etc. There's a whole planet made just of diamond. So, if diamonds are a girl's best friend, well, women, since you control the atmosphere so much, why don't you bring us all together? In a proper way where we can still be individual, but we work together, in all these societies, we need to work together. Generally, all of us, women, men, families, husbands, wives, children, whatever. And we all put in whatever we individually have to put in. And obviously, I can say this till the cows come home, but there's certain families who control the world, and we don't need to mention those, bloodlines. But it brings us back to the theme of this video, which is really intent over blood. The intent to all work together, for instance, and go out into an abundant universe instead of staying stuck here because we all become neurotic. Some get rich, some get poor, some go into a space station called Agarthia, or whatever they called the bloody new space station the elites have. Crazy bastards. And then just leave everyone else to die around the world that they've sucked dry to make that little Elysium, like the movie. That's basically what they're making. Agarthia is like Elysium the movie. That's where we're at now. So if you haven't seen Elysium, the movie, watch that, because that's basically what they're doing now with Agartha. Gonna make a space station, no, you can't come, you're not invited, you're not an elite. And that's blood over intent for humanity, for instance. Okay, so think about this whole theme of what it means, blood over intent and intent over blood, and how this relates to the title of this video as well. Benjamin Kallenberg, consciousazine.net. consciousazine.com Chronicles.
So take a deep breath and allow the muscles in your body to relax, as if you're lying upon a cloud and dissolving into it. Breathe slowly and intentionally through your heart. With each breath, you relax deeper and deeper as your body becomes lighter, dissolving into the cloud. As you inhale, begin to feel the rhythm of your heart as the life force is drawn into it, and then softly exhale. Now visualize a large circle of bright lavender flames about 33 feet beneath you. They are so beautiful as they begin to rise higher and higher. And as they draw closer, you notice that each flame is edged with a beautiful golden light, like sunlight on water. The flames grow larger still until they surround and engulf you and rise swiftly the same distance above your body as they were below your body. The sensation is like a cool breeze as the flames dance around and through you, and you feel lighter as the flames dissolve and consume the chatter in your head and the static energy of the day. As the static is dissolved, you see a brilliant white light emanating from your heart that expands and expands out into every cell of your body. Begin to feel the pulsating rhythm of your heart, and feel the sensations in your fingers and toes, your legs and torso, and now your head. You realize the light has awakened every cell in your body, and you are open, receptive, alert, and focused.